Marita from the Orbweavers. Welcome to Australian Musician.
Thanks so much, Greg. It's wonderful to be here.
We're talking to you today in regard to the PBS Radio Festival. When did you first become aware of community radio stations like PBS?
I guess I've always been aware of PBS because I was fortunate to grow up in a household where PBS and Triple R and 3CR were always being played. So I can't actually remember a time in my life, and I just turned 44. So I think when I was born was when a lot of these community radio stations were established, and PBS has always been on in our household in growing up and also in my adult household. So throughout my life, it's provided the community and the soundtrack and the education that has made me love living in this city and listening to music so much.
Yeah, being an artist and hearing such a diverse range of music on stations like PBS, does that give you more inspiration as an artist than what you get from the mainstream radio stations?
Definitely. Yeah, every week I hear music on PBS that I've never heard before. I hear new artists, I hear artists from across the world, and I hear a lot of music that is from a whole range of genres and from a whole lot of histories. So it's a constant education that I'm receiving every time I'm switching on PBS, whether it's like driving to work or relaxing at home or on Saturday mornings, kind of making breakfast and hanging out at home. Like there's all these moments in my life where PBS is there on the radio and I'm just enjoying the beautiful music and learning so much at the same time.
When you started Orbweavers in 2006, what kind of hurdles got in the way of reaching a larger audience?
Well, the first hurdle is that when you start any new musical project or artistic project is that no one knows that you exist and you're not really sure who might be interested in what you're creating. So one of the first things that we did was we made a demo, and we were really lucky that Lisa Palermo, who was a host on PBS around 2006, she played our demo and was the first person to play one of our recordings. And that was such a thrill. So that kind of started off building our confidence. So then it helped us surmount that hurdle of wondering whether there was anyone out there who might want to listen to the music we were making. And from there, when we made our first record, I created a whole lot of CDs, wrote some letters to presenters who I thought might be interested. And one of the wonderful things about community radio is you're welcome to enter the building. You can walk in and you can meet people and you can drop your music off into people's letterboxes. And then to my great surprise and joy, we were played on a variety of shows. And since then, I've just always felt like it's such a great aspect of living in Victoria and in Melbourne, in that you can go into these radio stations and you can connect with people and you can begin to be part of a bigger community, a music community, and PBS definitely makes that possible.
What's that feeling like when you hear your music on the radio for the first time?
It's thrilling. It's the best feeling. It's overwhelming and joyous and always a surprise. And just I can think of quite a few times where I've stopped and either if I was in driving, I pulled over at the side of the road and just thought, oh my goodness, that's just such a thrill to be a local band and to have your music played on the radio is a wonderful, wonderful joy. And it's possible with community radio stations. Like I don't know how to reach mainstream musical kind of spaces, and community radio creates that space for all of us to be there together.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what Orbweavers have been up to recently. You presented a pretty interesting show at the Victorian Library, I think, as part of After Dark. Tell me about that.
We did. We just we're so I'm still overjoyed with that experience that happened on the weekend. We presented a 360-degree projection with a soundtrack. So we co-created the visuals and composed and created a soundtrack that went along with it. So it was a 7 to 10 minute experience where you entered the dome of the State Library and sat down and were given wireless headphones and then taken on a journey through the city, waterways, skies. So we're reflecting on the history of Naarm, Melbourne, and the layers of place that all bring us into this particular location of the dome. So we're reflecting on those ideas and cycles and the moon, because it was a beautiful full moon on Monday. So the moon was waxing and we got to present this projection, which also featured the moon. And yeah, it was great to have that opportunity. So we were very grateful to be able to create and present that work.
And I believe you provided the soundtrack to a game as well?
We did, yeah. We were lucky. One of our songs was included in an interactive game for set in Footscray for I'm just trying to remember all the details of that. 64 Ways of Being is the name of the amazing game. And yeah, it's great to be included in locally created multidisciplinary arts projects. So that's something that definitely, like, community radio also facilitates that, because if you're interviewed or included in local media, then other artists hear about your work, and then that facilitates further collaborations. So definitely all of this is interconnected in the sense that the ecosystem, the arts ecosystem that we're all really fortunate to be part of, kind of bounces off all the different conversations that happen, say, in radio, online, and through that, then artists get the opportunity to work together to create new things.
Yeah. When the Sky is Grey, is that the current single?
It is. It is our most recent single, and that was recorded when we were in isolation. So we contacted Jen Chalakis, who plays drums with us, and Paddy Mann, who plays bass, and we got them to record some backing vocals, which they sent through, which we were then compositing into a song, and then we released that in May last year, yeah, during lockdown. So that was our most recent song, and we'll include that on our new record, which we're just finishing, which is called New Moon. And it's about cycles and the moon and where we are, and reflecting on all the elements that are kind of around us that are part of our immediate kind of environment and life. So yeah, we're looking forward to releasing that hopefully later in the year.
And apart from that, what else is happening for 2022?
Well, we're heading up in August to Broken Hill for an artist's residency, and we're hoping to learn a lot about the place and about Yirrkala country and Bakunji country, and learn about all the amazing the river system, the importance of the Darling Barker, and through that learning, we're hoping to create some new work. So we'll spend a month there, and then we'll create some new work, and then we'll head back there in 2023 to present the new work.
Right, Marita, it's been great to chat, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Greg. It's been lovely speaking with you. Thank you for having me. And happy Radio Festival, PBS.